another reading lesson with Miss Meadows. I am so excited to be reading with you today. We have a great story to listen to today. We're going to start with our vocabulary though. Our first word is lesson. Can you say lesson? Very good. Lesson is a noun or a person, place, or thing word. A lesson is something important that you learn. So, for example, after reading the story, the boys are talking about the lesson that the characters learned. So, every day in school, you learn a bunch of different lessons from Miss Meadows, from your music teachers, your art teacher, your gym teachers, your reading teachers, Miss Walter, Miss J. You learn all of these lessons from them. They're important things that you learn. Our next word is wise. Say wise. Very good. Wise is an adjective or a describing word. If you are wise, you use what you know to make good decisions. So, for example, my wise grandfather is teaching me everything he knows about fishing. It's kind of like another word for smart. The next word is tale. Say tale. Very good. Tale is a noun or a person, place, or thing word. A tale is a story. So, for example, Mom is reading a tale to Derek that makes him laugh. A tale is another word for story. The next word is nonsense. Say nonsense. This one makes me laugh because look at that picture. Nonsense is an adjective or a describing word. If something is nonsense, it's silly or not true. So it's nonsense to dress up a bulldog, but I think it's kind of cute. And our last word is reply. Say reply. Very good. Reply is a noun or a person, place, or thing. A reply is an answer to a question. So sometimes my mother will reply to me by using a gesture, like a thumbs up. So like sometimes when you ask to go to the bathroom with your bathroom signal, Miss Meadows will just give you a reply as a thumbs up instead of words. Very good. Kiss your brain. Whoops, we are moving right along to our anchor chart today, which is on synthesize. Say synthesize. Very good. When you synthesize, you put together information from different parts of the text or the story to see the author's ideas in new ways. So think of it as a giant puzzle. You take important idea, important idea, important idea, important idea, and all these little pieces, and you put them together into a big puzzle piece, and that's the big idea. And that is, what does it all mean to me? So why am I reading this story? What did I learn from this story? So you take all those important ideas, mush them together into a puzzle piece, and it creates the big idea of the story. So with that in mind, our story today is Thank You, Mr. Aesop. This is an informational text, which means it's nonfiction or it's based off of real events. It gives facts about a topic. So we're going to look for facts about people and photographs of real people. Our purpose for reading is we're going to read to find out the most important ideas in each part. Then we're going to synthesize or put the ideas together, those puzzle pieces, in our mind to find out new things about the text and what it really means to me or to you. Alrighty, I think I have a little thing from our author, who is Helen Lester, we're going to listen to a little audio about Helen Lester, the author.
When Helen Lester was little, she thought one of Aesop's fables, The Tortoise and the Hare, was about a hairy turtle. It's true. She found out that it is not about a hairy turtle at all, but instead about a turtle who races a rabbit. Miss Lester grew up reading Aesop's fables. These tales gave her ideas for her own stories. Miss Lester always tries to have a good lesson in them, like in her many books about Tacky the Penguin. So she says, "Thank you, Mr. Aesop."
Alrighty, so we're going to get started with our story, Thank You, Mr. Aesop. Thank You, Mr. Aesop, by Helen Lester and illustrated by Roberto Wygand. So I think that this is probably Mr. Aesop, and he is the person who writes all of these different stories, and this is kind of a story for us to say thank you to him for all of these amazing stories he's written. Aesop lived a long, long time ago. It was so long ago that we are not even sure he was real. Whoa, that must mean it was a long time ago. Some people think Aesop was a storyteller from Greece who told stories about animals that acted like people. Some animals were full of nonsense, others were wise. These stories were called fables. Each one teaches a lesson. So, a fable is a story that teaches us a lesson. So, the characters maybe learn a lesson, and that lesson is something we can take with us to think about, to kind of shape how we think about life and how we go about life. People liked Aesop's fables. One person told the story to another, who told another, who told another. You get the idea. Long after Aesop's time, people were still telling the fables. They were printed in books. Each author changed the story to make it a little bit different. So Aesop told these stories. He created these fables that are stories that teach us a lesson, and people told them over and over and over again. And they just kept telling them. And so even though he lived a long time ago, people are still telling his stories today. Like the tortoise and the hare, we still tell that story even now. Today, people still like Aesop's fables. Many authors retell these stories. The author Jerry Pinkney wrote his own versions of Aesop's fables. His art helps to tell each tale. And look down here, what's this book right here? The Grasshopper and the Ant that we just read is one of Aesop's fables that Jerry Pinkney kind of used the story of and used his artwork to tell his own version of it. That's awesome. Ed Emberley and his daughter Rebecca also retell Aesop's fables. They change the stories to make them their own. In their book, The Ant and the Grasshopper, the weather is hot and not cold like in other versions. Also, the grasshopper is not alone. He plays music with a bug band. So Ed Emberley and his daughter Rebecca told the story of the grasshopper and the ant, just like we read, but in their story, it's hot. Remember in our story, it was so cold the grasshopper had to come inside? In their version, it's hot, and he was playing with a bug band instead of being by himself. So they kind of changed up the fable a little bit. Think of it. Many fables were first told long, long ago. These stories hold lessons for us all. So, will you be the next storyteller? I hope your reply is yes. You could retell an old fable or make up a new one. What lesson would you teach? That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So, why do you think Aesop's fables have been told over and over for so long? I wonder. Because I think it has something to do with the fact that they teach really good lessons that we like to learn, and they're interesting, and they have animals for characters, and because they teach us those great lessons, we tell them over and over again to teach our kids and future generations those stories that we read. So what you're going to do next is you are going to complete your gem board. So you can either work on a sapphire, emerald, ruby, or diamond choice. Go ahead and grab that and be creative. Maybe you could even retell your own Aesop fable story. Or you could talk about one of Aesop's fables that you like. You could maybe do some research on what his fables are. And look those up and maybe make a little poster or a video about his fables. Do whatever you want. Pick from your choice board. I can't wait to see what you do and hear about what you do. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for another story. Bye, friends!